Hey there, everybody. This is Magnum Pi. I'm here with Teku Golgoth of Holle and Dark Templar, and we are Initiative Zero. So glad you could join us again for Rifts, the Devouring Swarm. It's been a year of Rifts on Initiative Zero. We started last October. It is October 3rd as of this recording. And yeah, we would like to thank everybody that's been a part of the growth of this channel over the last year. We had a decent number of subscribers, but we have grown so much, and we're just very happy that the channel's doing so well. We're happy to have everybody that's on our Discord. If you haven't yet subscribed or hit like or left a comment or shared this out with people that you know that love Rifts, we'd love it if you did. It really helps the channel out, and the better this channel gets, the more we can put into it. And so, please do join us on our Discord if you want to get into that in-depth discussion about role-playing games. It doesn't have to just be Rifts. We talk about all sorts of different role-playing games and just kind of games in general. So, come for the role-playing chat, stay for the memes.
And the weather reports, of course.
That's right. Yeah.
The regular weather.
Yes.
Summer's done.
I would like to avoid the freezing as long as possible, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Anybody turn on their furnace?
Not yet. I don't. I try to
not
keep
yet.
it off as long as possible, but usually by the end of October, I kind of have to, bite the bullet.
Yep. All right. So last time we left, you guys had finished off some mechanoids. That's what they're called, at least according to your mysterious ally there. And he left you with some stuff, some mechanoid weapons, plasma rifles, as well as you salvaged an energy source from one of the mechanoids. We did that kind of during the downtime off scene here. But you've got that, and you guys had decided that you're going to go to this town of Liberty that he mentioned that was south of the ruins of the two cities, which, as we would know, are Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So...
They're about 50 miles away, you said, each of those, right?
as the crow flies. Yeah. So
longer through the forest.
Yeah, and we presume that if you were on a flat plane, you can do about 25 miles, in a day, probably, a day of travel. And, through the hilly areas of the foothills of the Appalachians, which is kind of where you're at, it's going to slow you down a bit. So we would say that'll probably take you, if you go in that direction, I'm going to say that it'd probably take you about 3 days of travel to get to the kind of between the two ruins, heading to try to get past them to go further south of them. So that'll be 3 days just to get there. And then probably another day moving along that direction you don't know where Liberty is. So you're going to have to try to find that somehow. But do you guys have any food or anything like that with you?
I got rations, but,
I have food in my backpack.
Yeah, I got hunt as well.
Okay. How many rations do you have? Just out of curiosity.
What do I got? Let's see. My equipment. I know I gave some away, but I think I still have my rations. Where's my backpack? Credits, ammunition.
I apparently have 7 days worth of rations sitting around.
Cool.
I've got 21 days.
Okay, so you guys have enough food. Now, the reason why I say those lengths of time again is because Gotrek, again, during our off-screen time here, has essentially decided that he's not allowing these three in the robot vehicle anymore. So they are walking alongside, providing multiple targets now, rather than just the one robot vehicle target. So
over the course of several days.
Yeah, over the course of several days now. So I'm going to roll just to see what occurs. Roll 3 times. Right, once in the morning, once in the evening, and then once at night to see if there's any random encounters here. So this is the first day. And we'll do the second day. And the third day. All right, you lucked out. There are no random encounters. I look for 6s on those dice. to see if there's a random encounter. And yeah,
It's
relatively
3 days.
See,
3 days
I
worth
told
of
you guys
rations.
you'd be fine outside the robot vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Relatively quiet. Portland, what's your range on ley lines?
Yes, 40 miles.
Cool. That's 10 miles per level, so that's actually 50 now.
Hey, look at that.
Cool.
Huzzah.
All right. So
Great.
that means, based on where you guys are, that you actually can detect. There is a ley line far, just even before you start out. There is a ley line far off at the edge of your detection range. Yeah. And if you wanted to head in that direction, as opposed to not, you would have to roll your base skill there, which is 30% plus 5% per level. So it should be on your skills list under Sense Ley Line. Depends if you want to. It depends if you want to do that or not. If you want to head toward the ley line, or if you want to try to if the other people want to try to make navigation checks to head toward those two ruins.
I'll submit one. I'll try. Why not?
Okay,
Did I get that?
you did. You succeeded.
Sweet.
So
Oh, shoot, I didn't see the other die.
yeah, you guys can. I mean, you'll be able to navigate them for a good chunk of the day toward that ley line. Anybody making a navigation check? I guess Gotrek, you're probably going to do the navigation check here, given the fact that you've got the equipment now. Your sensors are down, right? You're just relying on whatever you've got from your scopes and the like. So no radar, right? None of your infrared or anything like that.
I don't have any navigation.
You'd probably have a map or something like that in the robot, right? Just something that allows you to navigate a giant vehicle.
What are you wanting me to roll though for my navigation?
Do you have any sort of navigation skill or anything like that?
No.
Crazy. So you're just
It was
totally...
Senate who was going to navigate.
Ah, I see. Okay.
I'm just following these guys.
Well, Portland's trying to do land
And
navigation,
I may even give them a head start, because if something comes out of the bushes at them, and if I'm, 100 yards away or more, I can just kind of start firing on those things and be a little bit more protected.
okay. If that's how you guys want
As
to...
our plan was supposed to be.
I sense spite. I don't know.
Well, Gotrek is
Right.
that is his disposition.
Good. Okay.
So when these guys are walking ahead, checking their maps and the stars, I'm sitting there just mumbling under my breath and complaining.
Sounds great.
Portland.
Portland...
When
How,
you're doing
like,
everything else, you're just going to be complaining, you're saying?
What's that?
So when we're doing everything else, you're just going to be complaining, you're saying?
Well, if you guys did everything else, that would be like first.
What do you mean? You
This is Gotrek saying it.
What? Okay.
All right. So, Sir Luke, you kind of are using your general knowledge of the land area here, essentially realizing that those two ruins are closer to the water, and so you're looking for any sort of... you're following the land downhill, right? That's kind of how you're using your land navigation to guide you toward these two. Yeah. So you guys stay on target for some time here. I'm just going to see how long between rolls for land navigation. All right. Cool. So, anybody with land navigation, I'm going to need you guys to give me a few more checks to make sure that you guys stay on target there.
I
So,
already failed mine.
but it's supposed to happen every 3 miles or so. Okay.
Nice.
So, Senate, give me a second land navigation check. That would be the first one that you made at the same time as Sir Luke. So what this is telling me is that you guys are all paying attention to the world around you. Okay, so you guys stay on track for you go for about 6 miles. You're gonna go probably a couple more of those rolls there. That'll bring you to 12 miles.
Sorry, how many more rolls?
You guys are trying to travel about 25 miles in a day, right? You guys are moving at, if you spend 8 hours traveling, that's going to give you about 24 miles, right? So right now you've traveled 6. There we go.
A third.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. If you guys roll again. Sorry, at this point, you guys may have made 3 rolls. Portland, give me a ley line sensing check to see if you can tell whether you or not you are heading toward the ley line still, as these guys navigate you toward where they believe the 2 ruined cities are. So yeah, you are still heading in the direction of the ley line. It's getting stronger as you head in this direction. So if these 2 guys, you've made 3, so let's see if you keep staying on track. Cool. And yeah,
Oh, shit.
so Senate, luckily you've got the second roll, right? Basically the 2 rolls are giving you guys this, stay on target. And Portland could use his sense ley line to keep you at least heading toward the ley line. All right, Senate and Sir Luke, give me another roll. All right, and yeah, so Portland, give me a check on your sense ley line. All right, so you keep them on target toward the ley line, even though they want to veer off. So we'll make a note of that. Cool. How many rolls is that now here, guys? What do we got?
3, 4. I've got 5 rolls.
Okay. Cool. So you got 3 more rolls to make for Senate and Sir Luke.
There you go.
Good. And 2 more rolls. All
Jesus.
right. And 1 more to go.
Last one.
There we go. Good stuff. Okay, so you guys stay on target for the day. You're moving along again, riverbeds, following the flow of the river toward the sea, using Portland's sense of ley line to see if he keeps you on target. Portland, give me 1 more roll for your sense ley line. Good stuff. So, yeah, you think you're still heading in the right direction here, but it seems that your sense of it is not as strong as before. So there you are. So that's the end of the first day. You'll set up camp, take off some rations so that everybody can
I've taken off all my rations, so yeah.
Okay.
Who else needs rations? Somebody else need rations? I took off 3 for the 3 days, but maybe I should have waited.
I use
okay.
rations.
You could use some rations?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you 1.
They might be in your backpack if you have one.
I'm looking at it. I don't see one. Yeah, I need a ration.
Yeah, I'll give you some rations.
Oh, good.
So how many rations are we removing?
I guess 1 for each person. So I had 21 before. So I'm at 19.
There we go.
Does Godrich have rations?
I do.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so you'll make camp, and you will Yeah, set up watch and all that stuff. Uneventful night, and yeah, you are still far enough from this ley line, Portland, that you don't really see a glow of any sort, but you can still sense it. Right, it's still there. You're picking it up as you move along. You can always sense it. Your role is to see if you can tell something about its direction and relative distance away from you, right? So that's what the role is for there. Not that you can't sense it, but it's kind of like focusing in on it. So yeah, you guys have been relying on your ability to navigate the land, right? Right, just making sure that you're continually heading downhill, watching birds and stuff like that, noticing the seabirds are heading, inland at night and out away, so those sorts of things. Keeping an eye on those kind of telltale signs from the world around you. And so I'm not going to have you roll for the next two, just because I'm looking at the number of rolls that you've made here, given your proficiency alongside Portland's 50-50 chance of detecting the ley line. And you should be able to navigate yourselves toward the ruins of the two cities. And there's basically a corridor between the two cities that kind of, by the time these cities had grown in what is our future, before the cataclysm, they were practically connected by, there was not much difference of any sort of wild land or any sort of natural land between them. It was just one concrete jungle all the way from Baltimore to Washington, D.C. However, those times they've changed, and where there once was buildings and concrete and stuff, the tumult that was the coming of the rifts destroyed and leveled most of these cities. And so what you have now is a big stretch of wilderness between them. But what was the center of Baltimore and what was the center of Washington is connected by a ley line, and that's the ley line that you are sensing there, Portland. So as you are at the threshold between these two cities, there is a ley line that you guys stop at the end of the third day there, and you camp near its glow. Portland, is there anything you want to do now that there's a ley line right beside you?
I want to meditate on it. Well, that'd be like my first thing. I'd probably be like, hey, a ley line, I can meditate on that.
Okay. You can do meditation, sure. Do you want to use any of your abilities that you allow you to gain information from ley lines?
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, I'll do the read the ley line. I'm still the mage with instant information with a ley line in a matter of moments. I don't know what directions the ley lines run, how long the line runs for, whether there are any nexus points and where, and whether there are any risks presently along the line. It costs me 0 to do so, 0 PPE to do so.
Yeah, and there's no skill or anything, so.
Yeah, the character also knows about any major natural disasters occurring on the line, such as forest fires, flooding, earthquakes, etc.
Okay.
Or I imagine are not natural disasters.
Cool. So, yeah, the ley line runs about 36 miles. And there is a nexus point to the north east along the ley line, which would be in the direction of Baltimore. And yeah, there is currently no rift open along this line, and no real natural disasters happening at this point.
Okay. So I want to relay this information to the fellows down there.
Yeah,
about
for
the
sure.
ley line and where we want to perhaps travel to, because I can carry them, I think.
Yeah.
This ley line.
So this ley line is not running in the direction that you want to go. You could use it to get to the ruins of Baltimore. You could use it to get to the ruins of Washington, D.C. But where you are seeking is south of these, which means passing through the ley line and continuing south on the other side. This ley line kind of runs south west to northeast.
Well, we are probably at the point now where we have to do what we can to see if we can find this community. So we haven't come across any people, obviously.
Let's see. Let's see what might have happened here. Like you had no encounters, right? But I'm going to give another roll just to see if you... Okay. So, yeah, we'll say that you have come across a small town as you pass through the ley line to the other side. You will find a small town probably about maybe 2-hour walk away from the ley line, so about 6 miles from the ley line.
Okay, we'll inquire about Liberty, the direction, how to
Okay.
get there.
Yeah, so you you head into this town, and it doesn't seem to have the sorts of defenses or anything like that you would expect from a town in this part of the world. Most towns usually have some sort of defensive wall of some sort. Even Fenton had a bit of a wall, a low wall anyway, to give it some protection. But this is a very small town that's made of wood buildings, obviously harvested from the forests that it occupies, and it's got a rather geometric layout, sort of pentagonal. Right? It's got five roads that lead toward the center of it. You enter in on one of the roads, and the people that are in the town, they see you kind of moving forward toward them with a giant robot vehicle, and they quickly scatter into the houses.
I look at the others and say, well, we need to get some directions.
Oh, who feels like being friendly?
I'll
I
just
could be-
wait on the outskirts of the town, and you guys can head in. They seem to be afraid of this vehicle.
I could be friendly, but I don't think they'll be very happy to see a giant compared to most of them. So,
But
You
you
might
do
be the
have
best.
that. You can do trust, right?
Oh,
you
that's true. That's true. I do have
seem
to trust.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
you're not unappealing
Yes.
to people.
That is true. Okay, maybe I'll give it a try. Give it a try.
I mean, I'm happy to go along, but
So we'll go to one of the houses, knock on the door.
Okay, and so you knock, and after a moment, a man is wearing basically a tunic is the type of clothing he's wearing there. Just very simple, and he opens up the door and looks behind him and kind of waves people back and steps out and closes the door. He looks up at you. He's not a tall man by any stretch of the imagination, and he says, "Good day to you."
Good day to you as well. I'm sorry to bother you. We're on our way to Liberty, but we're not sure the direction. Is there a possibility you could point us in the right way?
And he says, "You're not here to collect tribute."
Tribute? No.
spike an eyebrow at the word tribute.
And he says, "I thought with your vehicle and your mage, you would be here to collect for the bad cats."
No, we're certainly not here for that. We're trying to get to Fenton. You're aware that, I don't. Do you have any psychics amongst you?
Like, you're trying to get to Fenton, or you're trying to get to Liberty?
Or sorry, Liberty. Sorry, did I say? Yeah, I meant Liberty. But I asked also, do you have like psychics amongst you? They be aware of what's the danger that's coming.
The swarm.
Yes,
be
that's
it.
right.
We've
We're
heard
trying
of
to
the
get
swarm.
we're trying to get to Liberty because apparently that's where some people are mustering to try to fight it.
We've not encountered the swarm, but we know of them. Liberty, though, well, strange that you're not collecting tribute if you're heading to Liberty.
Yeah, no,
Does
no.
Liberty frequently collect tribute?
Yes.
I'll just look over at Senate and kind of quizzically and like, what the hell are we getting into? Yeah, no, we're not here to collect tribute, but we do want to do what we can to fight. You haven't come across the swarm, we have, and
Oh, his
it's
eyes get
every
big, and
yeah, it's
looks
every
at
bit as
you.
dangerous. It's every bit as dangerous as well, I don't know, call the prophecy or the whatever the vision says.
Oh, he says that's very disturbing. Are they
It
following you?
is. No, they're not following us. The ones we had encounters with, we and some others were able to, dispatch with a lot of difficulty. But the ones that were, that would have followed us are no longer in existence.
They see. Why are you
That being
going to?
said,
Why are you going to Liberty?
because one of the people who helped to take these creatures down, they suggested we go to Liberty because apparently they're mustering there to fight the swarm. At least that was what we were told.
Yeah, it's not what you were told, but
Oh,
okay.
okay.
We're heading to make repairs.
Yeah, sorry. I thought we were. Yeah, yeah. I thought we were. So I thought he's.
Possibly replace the
Yeah,
robot
yeah,
outright.
yeah, yeah.
Well, says you would be able to find what you need there, but you've defeated some of the swarm.
Well, with a lot of help, like a massive amount of help.
I thought it was just like one other guy.
Yeah, that one guy was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's not a massive amount of help, just one dude.
But I don't know if this is worth an argument. But yeah, I mean, he helped us a great deal.
Yeah, he did. He was a good guy.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
yeah.
that guy.
In any
Well,
case,
you if you're headed to Liberty and you can defeat the swarm, perhaps you can remove the bad cats from Liberty.
What are the bad cats?
Are they swarmish?
and
They control Liberty.
And just, this is not me being an asshole, but what do we get out of it if we defeat the bad cats in exchange for what we are really doing here?
gratitude would help. But
Fuck
Oh.
gratitude, doesn't do anything. We got a fucking swarm to kill.
Well, Liberty's a growing community. They have some wealth, unlike our town here, but we have food and the like, and it's just that well, the town brought the bad cats in for protection once the rumors of the swarm came, and they never really thought it would turn out this way.
just as an aside, we when we came to through this village, it didn't seem that there was much protection. Have you considered going to a place that's safer?
We have the ley line.
Like not on the doorstep of a potential hellmouth?
Well, we have the ley line, he says.
It's a no.
And there's people who can use that?
Yes, we have some.
Okay.
So
All
what
right.
are the bad cats? Are they a mercenary group? Are they a gang?
Yeah, he says they're mercenaries. They were hired by the town.
By
What are
this
their
town?
No, by
No.
Liberty.
Liberty.
Oh, by
And they just-
Liberty.
and I presume there are other towns that they extort? In addition to
Any of
yours?
the villages around Liberty. They're trying to
What are the
expand their hold.
What are their capabilities? What can they do?
Oh, they're like you. They've got robot vehicles and armor and technology.
Any magic users or psychics?
I don't know. I've only encountered the roaming groups, a juicer or two.
Juicers.
Some mutant dogs, Borgs, some power armor. They have a giant too.
Giant.
Gonna side-eye Luke.
Like define giant.
Yeah, here we go.
Ooh.
Just ask the question. Just ask the question you want to ask. Is he bigger than me? Just
I kind
this is
We all
in
know what you
character.
want this
I've
to
turned
I-
on you
I-
completely.
I-
I'm facing you
kinda-
dead on. Just
I kind of fucking do want to ask that actually.
We all had that same question.
like that was not me saying it. That was Sam.
No,
So
and
just-
actually, to be fair, one of my insanities is obsession with appearances. So yeah, I want to know if he's bigger than me.
yeah.
Is he bigger than me?
Okay, while you're having this, literally when you say that to him, I'm like, I'm gonna go meditate on this ley line.
Well, you guys
God, I
have
thought you
you
were gonna
guys have
go
moved
raw.
away from the ley line quite a distance now, right? You've traveled a number
Ley line
of
around, God damn it.
you traveled a number of miles away from the ley line by this point.
Oh, I'm gonna get a drink then. This is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, you begin wandering the town looking for a place to drink.
Yeah. But more importantly, how big is this giant?
Probably
What's
twice
his
your height,
inseam like? What's his inseam?
if not
Just
taller.
curious.
What's that? How much taller?
Twice your height, if not 3 times.
Twice my height. Oh,
And then swing some pipe.
what? How? Why did you go there?
Because he might have a pipe in his hand. He'd be swinging a large ass pipe, man. Fuck, I need a drink.
Yeah, I don't know what
Porsche.
kind of vibro blade you can get for that size of person, really.
Excited. Let's go get a drink. Goddamn.
Wait. Okay. So,
Oh.
what are their numbers?
Again, we've only encountered some small groups that have come through demanding tribute. Never any more than 4 at a time. But we just know that
Not the same.
a battle would
not the
destroy our town, even though
Right,
we
not
might
the same-
survive.
Not the same 4 every time, though, right?
No, at least 3 different groups. One time there were 3, another time there were 4. One time there were just 2. So, at least that
So
many.
Minimum
The-
9 to 12 minimum.
Yeah, the giant and a few others passed through, didn't stop. That's how we know they have a giant.
Okay. And some Borgs and some juicers.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, we can't promise you that we'll deal with these mercenaries because we are rather focused on the swarm at this specific moment.
And he kind of looks a little crestfallen.
But
If the opportunity presents itself, I'm sure it's something we could move on.
I mean, there is the greater evil at this point, but ultimately, they don't have the right to oppress you. So, yeah, I would certainly do what I can.
But it's hard to oppress something that's otherwise destroyed. So,
But if they are doing you harm, we'll do what we can.
Well, they seem more intent on our things, garnering food and whatever else they can take from us.
But we can't do what we'll try to do.
Well, thank you. I hope that you're, whatever you do, you don't draw any more negative attention toward our town or our village.
Yeah. And on that note, we should probably leave as quickly as we can to avoid that. I don't think nothing's following us. We certainly give that impression, but we should probably move as quickly as possible.
so back to the original query. Which direction is Liberty?
And he says if you follow the south road out of town, it will bring you along toward Liberty. It's not a big place, but it's the biggest place around here, Liberty. It's, I'd say over 6,000 now.
It's not a bad size, actually, for this part of the world.
Well, it's mostly farmers and fishermen, some loggers. But they've managed to secure some technology. They have electricity and running water. And there are some hover vehicles, and they do have a decent amount of technology. They even have the electronic wizard megastore, he says with a smile. Covers
Well, with that in mind,
whole
out of
block.
curiosity, like, just out of curiosity, I mean, given that, it's fairly advanced compared to other parts of the area, well, had you ever considered moving the village there, like, closer by?
Well,
Maybe even joining it?
we like being close to the ley line.
Oh, right. Sorry. We had this discussion. I apologize.
It's okay. They don't like the ley line, but we do. We got along fine till the bad cats came.
Yeah. Well, we will do what we can.
Thank you, he says, and he looks over at the robot. You definitely have seen some action.
Yeah. Anyways, where's Portland?
Just wandering along
Drinking.
the streets. Well, he's not necessarily drinking. He's looking for a place that'll give him something to drink, but
I call
This is true. I am not near you anymore. I am wandering to find a drink.
is there actually a bar in town?
no, we'll just open up a house once somebody has a brew on.
Okay, well, that's probably for the best. If you see a ley line walker, asking for alcohol, it's probably, you might say, hey, no, we don't have anything, just for his own health.
Okay, I really don't have anything right now. But,
Then that works then.
yeah. Just please don't say that you came from here.
We don't even know who you are. In fact, who are you? I wink at him.
My name's Michael.
Yeah, the point was, we don't know who you are, so.
Oh, he says. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, he says, and he kind of just looks at the robot and Senate and you again, and then opens the door and kind of slinks back into the house and closes the door, and you can hear a bar kind of being shuffled on the backside of the door there.
So I look over at Portland Senate, and kind of glance at the robot. Well, I guess we know what direction we're going in, at least. I call it Portland. Portland. Oh, for Christ's sake.
He gone.
Portland!
How big is this village? Can I actually hear him?
You could probably hear him. You haven't wandered that far, but he is.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know how far I had wandered.
There's no bar in town.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. I'm sure there's something in Liberty, though.
And I'm just gonna go, like, as loud as I possibly can, and like both, like my head's gonna be to the sky as I do that, and my shoulders are gonna be leaned right back. I'm like literally gonna curve my spine, like almost like backwards as I do it, kind of like the what's his name?
From Fury Road, for like Charlize Theron's character, Fury Road. I'm
Right,
picturing
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty dramatic.
Thank
you.
you.
You might need some like an AA meeting or something.
I am an alcoholic
Yes, I know, which was why I said you need an AA meeting.
or a drink.
Well, either or, but one probably more healthy.
The drink at the moment probably is the most healthiest route at the moment.
Anyways, let's continue on to Liberty.
All right. And you begin, and the robot lumbers along behind you. And it's not subtle, the robot, given the fact that it has a bit of a limp to it, and you managed to quell the smoke pretty much there, Gotrek. Did you want to try to see if you could repair it between, like, along your way? Just even to kind of...
Well,
I'd
I was
imagine...
going to ask if there was any repair work that I could do
Yeah.
while they went into the town and I was just kind of sitting there.
I'd imagine you have...
when we're camping.
I'd imagine that you have enough, like, minor tools to possibly... Because it said 3 hours work on the sensor systems, right? So you could use your telemechanics. You could use your robot electronics to see what you can work. Your choice.
Well, robot electronics is 51%.
So telemechanics will give you a higher percentage.
82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But telemechanics, you would have had to blow quite a bit of ISP because it's 3 hours work, and yeah, your memory will start fading. If I can just jump to your...
What's the rate?
Just looking at what it says there.
Rating?
You also have total recall, so you could recall some of it, but
I'm just looking at it as a skill, right?
yeah, I'm just trying to see what the... It's just that your memory will fade, like the information that you got will fade quickly. You have
So
to
it
work
says-
on it for 3 hours.
Like it says it's 10 ISP, and that lasts me 10 plus 2 minutes per level.
Yeah, so 20 minutes.
And yeah,
So you could do an
How
hour.
long-
You could do one hour, right, at your telemechanics level. The
Yeah.
other two would have to be, but it would cost you all of your PPE basically to do that.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you would have recovered it by the next day or something like that. So don't worry about taking it off. But that just tells us how many rolls you get at that level. So yeah, you can do an 80% skill check, and then you'd use your robot electronics for the other 2 hours. You need 3 successful skill checks. There's one.
And then robot electronics.
Yep.
No. Shit.
Okay.
I'll do one.
Yeah.
Do one more.
Yeah, you can give me one more. Yeah. So not quite able to get it all fixed here. You tried, but so anyway, you guys lumber south of this town, and you continue for a little ways.
So as we're walking, are we talking to the others and saying, so, I mean, obviously the swarm is the priority, but the cats, what are they called again?
The bad cats.
Mad cats. So that's obviously something that we should probably potentially deal with as well. I mean, I'm not saying immediately. I've got to be pragmatic as well. But if we do, let's think about this. There's probably a minimum of 9 to 12. They've got a giant who's probably between 13 and 19 feet tall. Some juicers, some Borgs. I always generally think there's got to be a magic user or a psychic in the midst. So it's not something that'll be easy.
No, it's a mercenary group.
Yeah.
If anything, they'd probably be better suited to deal with the swarm than we would.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, I don't know that their intentions would align with ours for that purpose. So
No. It sounds like they're here to, take these people for everything they have and probably move on once they've, done that.
So we'll hit Liberty, patch ourselves up as best we can, figure out where to go from there. I mean, if they've got an incredible gap of vulnerability that we can take advantage of, great. Otherwise, this is respectfully something to be filed with the Thornhead Demon. It's something we can come back to.
All right, the Thornhead Demon. That's still on my list. like Arya Stark. I've got a list. I say them before I go to bed.
Jeez.
Well,
Obsess much?
I mean, at least it gives you something to do.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, let's continue.
Okay, cool. So you, you continue on a few more miles. By the end of that day, you can see on a rather, well, it's actually the Wizard's, what is it, the Electric Wizard Emporium, or what it was called. I can't remember what it was called now. The Electronic Wizard Megastore. It's the size of a city block and is 2 stories tall. It's obviously it's visible from a distance. Basically, you can see it there. The town is a little bit low. Actually, it's on a bit of a plateau, flat plateau, but it's definitely a converted pre-rift structure of some sort. It's a mega damage structure of some sort. You can tell because of the reinforced concrete on it and stuff like that. But it's it's got a big electric sign on it. The town has electricity. You can see that there are some hover vehicles and the like. It has a wall, and the area surrounding the town is mostly farmland, and the tech level is relatively low for the most part. It's just accentuated by bits of technology. So, you can. The ocean's not too far away now because of the ingress of water when Atlantis returned. So, but you're making your way to the town here. There's many people that are riding horses or having horse-drawn carts. The houses are all made of wood. And, you can see that there's poles carrying electric wires, not to every house, but to some of the houses, probably about half. And, there's, like, sewer drains in the roads. The roads are cobbled. That's kind of the lay of the land here. And as you make your way into town, you'll notice people looking up at the robot vehicle as it lumbers toward town. I mean, it's at 32 feet. It's probably, slightly taller than the largest building in town. And you move toward there, and immediately what you see coming over the horizon is 2 vehicles that are flying toward you. They look a little something like this. So
Have you seen things like that before?
Well, you might know what they are. It depends. Give me a recognize weapon quality check. That'll be kind of our check for whether or not you recognize or know anything about particular equipment and stuff. So you've never encountered them. Does anybody else have recognize weapon quality?
No, I don't think I do.
All right. So you've not seen these. It's basically got 2 wings that kind of it hangs from as it flies over top, big engines and the like. And they fly directly overhead of you and swoop around. And they keep kind of flying in a pattern that goes out over the town and comes back over top of you. And where are these things here? Maybe I can find a better picture. Well, you guys know Samson power armor already, because that's the type of power armor that the other guys had. Yeah, they look like that, right? And there are 2 suits of Samson power armor come stepping up out of the town as these things fly overhead, and they.
As they do that, I'm going to raise my hands and just in a non-threatening manner.
All right. You put it up in the Samson power armor, which again is rather tall. It's not small at all. It's about, gosh, they're 12 feet tall, the Samson power armor. These guys that are flying over top are about the size of the Sam S power armor you've encountered before. And one of the two Samson, they both point their rifles toward you, and they say, just stop right there.
All right, stopping.
Right. And they kind of look up at your robot. What's your business in Liberty?
We're coming for repairs. We've faced the swarm, and it went better than we hoped it would, but not as good as we wanted.
Okay. And the one looks at the other one, and they nod. And they're like, all right, follow us. And they move in, and you can see the other two units fly in behind you. They're hovering behind you, and just the Samson power armor pilots, they walk you into the town. And you guys stay together in formation around the robot, or what's going on?
I'll stay around the robot.
I hate this already.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is.
Portland, Gotrek, you guys are sticking it out here?
Yeah, I'm just still following them.
Okay. And you walk through the streets. Cool. You guys walk through the streets, and what you notice is that there are small groups of heavily armed guys, usually in twos or threes, that are kind of walking around on the streets and the like. And then the rest of the town folk are not heavily armed. You see a couple of full conversion cyborgs, some armored guys with bionic implants. There's some juicers. There's kind of, looks like they're patrolling around the town. And these, the two Samson units, they stop and turn to face you guys and kind of hold up their hands. And,
don't do that.
Yeah, they say, you can bring the robot vehicle over toward the garage over there. They can service robot vehicles. Your weapons are going to have to be checked.
What's wrong with them?
Where at?
We'll hold them at the sheriff's office. You can have them when you leave.
All right. We don't really have much of choice anyways, so.
Oh, there's always a choice. But yeah, I think we should do this one.
Yeah, and
I'm just going to park my robot vehicle where they told me to park it.
okay.
So I'm gonna try to engage one in a discussion. And so I said, you're obviously aware of the swarm, right?
Yeah, we know the swarm. Yeah,
Have you done things to prepare for it?
haven't encountered them yet.
Well, we have. They're as dangerous as we thought they would be. We were told to come here because, we were suggested here to get repairs. Is there anybody else kind of, I don't know, mustering here to fight them?
Here? No. Like I said, you're welcome to do repairs here. Hope you didn't bring the swarm with you.
No, the ones that we encountered were all dispatched.
That's good to know. And Gotrek, you're getting out of your robot vehicle there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you're getting out of your robot vehicle, and the two once you start to disembark from the robot vehicle, one of the Samson units waves over full conversion Borg, who is carrying a particle beam rifle, and he says, take these 4 over to the sheriff's office to check their weapons. And he nods and says, all right, come on this way. And he escorts you guys that way while the 2 winged power armor, they fly off again to go do to kind of fly around and overhead. And the 2 Samson units head over toward the garage. Godric, as you get out of your vehicle, you're met by the mechanic, and he looks up and says, that's a hell of a amount of damage you've taken. That leg looks like it's been fixed up pretty good, though. Not 100%,
but I'm doing pretty good with what I have access to.
Oh, you did that, he says.
Damn right I did that. I basically built this thing from the ground up.
Oh, wow. Says, you're an operator.
That's right.
Oh. We might be able to work something out here. We've got a few things that we could really use to get running again. And a few buildings we'd like to hook up to the generator. You want to talk some trade for trade?
We'll definitely do that. I was going to say, if you're going to be working on this vehicle of mine, no amputations. That leg stays on.
It's not going to be very useful without that leg. I'm more worried about finding enough plating to re-armor your vehicle here. It looks like it get melted. You got to be encountering a lot of plasma or something.
Ah, well, the weapons that they have, that those guys from the swarm have.
And his eyes get big. You ran into the swarm?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing out here.
Here?
Hunt them around, fight them.
Around here? He looks around.
You heard me.
It's like, well, we'll try to get you fixed up. If you know how to take them out, then it'd be good to have you guys around here in case they come.
Well, they're coming for everybody everywhere eventually.
Kind of gives a hard swallow. Oh, that's not very reassuring.
Oh, but it's the brutal truth.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of brutal truth lately. And, yeah, one of the other things that you notice is that the town is not in very good repair. There's a bit of, looks like there's been a bit of damage, and there's even some buildings that have actually, they look like they've burnt out and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's kind of what when he says that, he kind of looks around at these places there.
Oh, I'm not going to start trash talking his town.
Yeah. But he says, yeah, we can service your robot vehicle and the like here, and the other shop across town, they're more of the more of the farm equipment type here, but we can recharge energy clips, and we got some petrol in the back here that we've been able to gather up from some passerbys and stuff as part of trade, so we can offer some fuel in that resource. And well, yeah, we'll do what we can to repair things here. Lucky for us, we happened upon quite a bit of stash of old pre-riffs materials, so might be able to.
Lucky for you guys.
Might be able to fit something on here to get it back in working order.
Well, just so you know, when you're looking in the back there, I also salvaged a I don't know, I'm thinking some sort of power source from those things in the swarm, but I don't really know much about it, so maybe just leave it alone for the time being.
Oh, okay. He's like,
I'll come back tomorrow and take a look at it and see what I can do.
Oh, all right. He leans in. It's like, if I were you, I'd take it with you.
How heavy is this thing?
It's small. It was inside the 2x2x2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's probably about the size of a very, very large grapefruit.
Or if he has maybe like some sort of like, or if I have it like a burlap sack or something.
I'm pretty sure you got
Then
a
nobody
bag
else
of
can
some
get
sort.
them carrying around.
Yeah, you probably have a bag of some
Yeah.
sort. Like it's basically like a glowing egg almost.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, I wouldn't leave anything in this vehicle.
I will take that advice.
All right, cool. And you do see your friends being escorted across the street there, and yeah, you can move as fast as your stumpy little legs will carry you across the street to catch up with them. All right.
Yeah, I'll go catch up with them.
Yeah. So the full conversion Borg brings you over to the sheriff's office, the jail. You can see it's got barred windows and the like. And he stands, basically beside the entrance and motions inside. You can go in there. They'll check your weapons.
Yeah, let's nod at him and walk in.
Yeah, and he's about probably 8 feet tall, so he's taller than you two.
I noticed that.
Yeah. All right. So you guys make your way inside, and yeah, you can see a couple of guys. It's kind of there's some desks. There's some jail cells that have a couple people in them, and yeah, in the it looks like people have actually been living in here. It doesn't look like it's just been a place of business or a place of officiating, I guess. There's been some cots set up and the like, and it's obvious that people have been eating and drinking in here as well. But once you step inside, out from the back comes a guy that looks like he's seen some action. He's got 2 bionic arms, and yeah, he also, what else does he have here? 2 bionic arms, and he seems to be wearing a modified suit of gladiator body armor, and he's got a little tin star kind of soldered to the outside of the armor there, and with him is a rather attractive looking woman who walks out as well. She's she's also she's not wearing armor. He looks like he's kind of just adjusting the armor, just putting it on, right? Finishing putting it on, and he walks out and takes a look at you all and says, "So, just coming to pay your respects to Liberty?"
We're coming for repairs, and then we'll probably be heading out as soon as we can. There's we had an encounter with the swarm.
Swarm, eh? How tough were they?
Yeah. Very. We barely got by.
All right. I'm sure you can understand why we're going to ask you to check your weapons here.
I kind of nod, but my eyes are kind of narrowed as well. I'm kind of, this guy's, I don't know, I'm getting some weird vibes from him. But yeah, I'll say, yeah, no. We'll certainly check our weapons.
Yeah.
So I take mine out and, where do we put them?
It's like, let's lay him out right here. And he kind of points to kind of the surface of the desk. He kind of pushes some stuff aside. Want to make sure we've got a good inventory here so that we know what's yours when you decide to leave.
I'll just kind of look at him for a second and put my weapons down.
All right.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, I'm the sheriff. Sheriff Larquette.
Larroquette.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Sue,
I look.
he says, pointing to the woman.
Okay, I'll give her a bit of a nod.
She smiles, kind of more of a knowing smile than anything. And
Okay,
the sheriff looks over at Sennett and Portland and Godric.
I'm going to assume that I brought some weapons.
Well, it
Since
depends.
I was told not bring it, not leave anything in the robot vehicle.
Yeah.
I think I would have followed that advice.
Yeah.
So I'll put mine down on the counter.
Okay. So you're unloading your plasma ejector and such. He picks them up and looks at them. It's like a northern gun job. That's not bad. It's like, oh, picks up Sir Luke's fire breather. You got one of the new fire breathers. How'd you get your hands on that?
We salvaged it, we'll just say.
Not fans of the Coalition, are you?
Nope.
All right. Senate, you lay out, and Portland, you guys
Yeah,
lay
I'm
out
carrying an
the.
armory. I just
Yeah.
realized.
You got a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
We are well equipped, and we
It could be
may.
a montage.
Yeah. Who knows how well
I was
equipped we'll be
gonna
after
say-
this, but
It's like Neo walking into the building in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
Just put this duffel bag filled with guns.
yeah. At best, you can carry 2 rifles with you, right? And you could probably have a few, at least accessibly, probably 4 pistols if you have hip-mounted and thigh-mounted holsters and stuff like that. But you guys are starting to get to the point where you're just not carrying all your weapons with you. So
Are they just caring about mega damage, or do they care about?
well, they want all your weapons out.
I see.
They want all your weapons
Oh.
out.
So they're gonna take my 44 Magnum.
Yeah, he's gonna open it and spin the barrel, and
They're going to have to cram Sir Luke in the box because, after all, he's a weapon, I think.
we are not
Oh,
telling
yes,
them.
that's right.
We are not telling them that.
Oh, get in the box.
We don't know that on
They're gonna have to-
Cybernight.
They're gonna have to confiscate your biceps.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be more concerned about the sword, right? Side swords.
Senate's brain.
Yeah, they take your frontal lobe.
Brain.
That's right.
Tell me about the Rabbit George.
Yeah. So I need. We'll start with. We'll start with Sir Luke. I need you to give me a saving throw versus psionics.
Oh, we're doing this, are we? Okay. Saving throw, saving versus psionics. Let's see if I am a Viking. I don't
All
think I
right.
am.
Cool. And then we'll move on to Senate. Saving throw versus psionics. Yep, and you can feel somebody moving around in your head.
I kind of look around and see who might be making abnormally hard eye contact.
Yeah, so the girl's definitely looking your way. And when you make a connection with her, she smiles.
And I'll just say, if there's something you'd like to ask directly, this works about as well.
She says, I'm just making sure you guys are telling the truth.
Well, it's impolite to go poking around uninvited. I think. Not that I adhere to that over much.
Are you saying it out loud in your head?
I'm kind of mumbling at this point.
In your head or out loud?
No, out loud.
Okay. Okay, do I have to put the save as well?
Well, she hasn't quite moved to you yet. But, yeah, she stopped at Senate. And, says, you're psychic too.
Is she talking to me this time?
No, to Senate.
Okay. Sorry.
And I'll just nod.
And the guy is checking out the weapons. He looks at the mechanoid weapon that you set down there, Senate, and he says, "Where'd you get this? I haven't seen anything like this before."
Said, well, we liberated it from the swarm when we took out one of their patrols.
Oh, this is one of theirs, eh? What is it?
It was. And I'll pick it up and pop the clip out of it, hand it over to him and say, well, it's a rifle.
Gathered that.
Real good at ripping holes in mechs. But, yeah, you don't want to be downrange when these things are being used. It's,
But what?
Plasma.
Plasma. It's very light for a plasma ejector. And he sets it back down. You got two of them. And he looks over at Portland. Line walker?
Yep.
And the girl says, he's fairly powerful.
Did she already read my mind? I didn't
No,
see her in.
she used something else now.
Did she say fairly powerful or very powerful?
Fairly powerful. Fairly
Oh,
powerful.
thank you. Why, thank you.
Barely powerful.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend you read my thoughts. You might get lost in there. And I'm just gonna do like one of those like Joker-esque smiles as I do so.
And she gives you a Harley Quinn kind of smile as well in return.
Oh my god. This is it. This is it, guys.
Spoiler.
This is my time.
Spoiler alert,
Oh,
he's just-
Except, of course, your smiles are trapped behind your gas mask. So
I was going to say. Compatible
Just let's
crazies. We got
The
to get out of
squint
here.
out of my eyes. It's the squint out of my eyes.
that's right.
Yeah,
And
through the goggles. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he kind of looks over at her and you, the guy with the bionic arms. And he says, I don't need any magical funny business happening in my town.
Dude, I don't do jokes. I'm not a stand-up comedian.
You know what I mean.
Hey, listen. I ain't gonna be fucking around. No one fucks around with me. I'm good. We cool.
Don't think I'm naive and realize that by taking away your weapons, I haven't really taken away your weapons. I know what magic users can do, but
Yeah, magic. I got it. I'm not playing. I just told you. I'm not gonna stir up shit. No one starts up shit with me. I'm good. We
Good.
Cool, man. I'm not doing anything.
good, because you wouldn't be my first magic user.
I don't know what's this. Why are you being so hostile here? I'm just saying. I'm not gonna do anything.
And he looks down at Gotrek. He says, "What are you?"
I'm sorry.
"What are you?"
No, he's sorry. That's
I'm human. What do you want?
Kind of looks around at you. All right. Yeah, you got a hell of a lot of weaponry for a short human, but maybe that's what you need. That's your robot vehicle, huh?
Yeah.
The mobile gun's a good unit.
You can't lock it up in your cage here.
No, but looks like it needs quite a bit of work, like it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. At least
As I
from this
said, we're-
distance.
As I
It
said,
got
we're here
here, and I built that thing from the ground up. So
Really?
As I said, we're here to get repairs and to, leave as soon as we can.
Good, he says.
yeah. The sooner we can get back to, trying to save this entire world and all the worlds attached to it, the better, I suppose.
Is there a hotel in town?
Yeah, I was actually planning on inviting you boys over for lunch.
Thank you. Do you have stew?
Yes, we do. It's quite quite selfish, but it's good. Leaning toward good.
Not
Yeah.
I like this guy.
It's just the right amount of meta.
I have not broken a smile this entire time. I just don't.
I'm still
Yeah.
smiling through my mask, as you can see through my squinted eyes.
That's right. And he's like, we've got the motel's brand new. Actually, it was just completed a few months ago. Hooked up with plumbing and electricity. It's quite a nice place to stay, unless you'd prefer some of the boarding houses.
Oh, I'm built for comfort. No, I want comfort.
Good.
You're-
They've got a good brunch. So
It's not.
yeah, and he basically takes an inventory of your weapons, and they lock them away in a closet. Well, more like a safe, and but it's basically got a key, right? It's a keyed sort of lockbox sort of thing, and puts the key around his neck, stuffs it into his shirt, or like under the armor there, and just gives it a good pat. Those things will be just safe right there, don't you worry.
I'll just nod.
So what do we need to know about this town?
Well, this place is safe. We haven't had any sign of the swarm. We've been brought in to make sure that that's the way it's going to stay.
You've been brought in.
Sorry, who's we?
My team. My team. Oh, we're going to need your armor too, he says.
What's your team called? You have like a special name for him?
We're the Bad Cat Mercenary team.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. And so he waits for you guys to, Senate and Sir Luke. Portland, your armor, I believe, is still... It's still your kind of concealed armor?
Yeah. It's part of my like regalia at the same time.
Yeah, you've got the medium armor. It's 40, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'll take up my armor.
yeah. So that just looks like part of your costume there. He's not that savvy. Cool. So, yeah. He escorts you down the road a ways. Sue kind of walking further back there. Gotrek,
I'm just going to stop a little bit, and I'm going to look back at Sue and go, so you were in our heads then?
And she just smiles and nods. Gotrek,
So
you
you
can
know
give me
who-
a... Gotrek,
Well, I'm
please
just gonna
give me a
say,
saving
so you-
throw versus psionics for Gotrek. Yeah, but go ahead.
So I'm going to say to her, so you know who what I am then?
And she smiles.
I'll just nod and continue walking.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, you feel somebody moving around in there as well. And yeah, he walks down the street there, and as you walk along, another guy kind of meets you there. He's a handsome guy with flame red hair, and he's got an ion blaster hanging from his holstered on his belt, and looks like he's also got a knife there as well, and a few other, looks like almost, I don't know, they look like small little sticks kind of in his belt as well, and then a guy with long hair, and poking out of the long hair are some cylinders. You guys recognize him as a crazy. He steps up and joins with you after a little bit here as well, and he's just kind of giving you guys the eyes as he walks in there, and Laracut, he says this here is red and fast hands. When he says fast hands, he points over to the crazy.
We starting a parade, or
No. You guys notice that Fast Hands has a crossbow on his back there, and he's got a number of quarrels on his thigh. Right, he's got one of those sort of things there, and yeah, he's got a NG super pistol hanging from a strap across his shoulder, and yeah, he says, no, we're just gonna have some brunch. Come on in. And he holds the door open as you walk into the motel. And he yells out, Lewis, bring everybody here a plate. Fill it high. These folks are eating for free today. Don't worry, they're staying here. You'll get your fair share of cash. And says, what do we got here? 8 plates, he says. And he sits down with you at one of the crazy kind of just grabs 2 tables pretty effortlessly and pulls them together to make a bigger table. Says, come on, sit down. And he sits down with his other 2 there, or his other 3 rather, and drinks are brought, food is brought, and you guys have a pleasant to meal there. The crazy just is quiet and eyes you guys. Particularly, he eyes you there, Sir Luke.
I'm kind of side-eyeing him a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the sheriff says, well, looking over at you, Sir Luke, he says, I know that you are a cyber knight. You don't seem to have the cybernetics of most cyber knights, but maybe they just didn't trust you with them.
I'll kind of have a little bit of a grin and go, well, not quite. And if your Sue is as gifted as she appears, she probably knows why I don't have the armor.
She whispers over to the crazy, he's magical. And the crazy just like, shakes his head. The guy with the red hair is like, magical? What can you do?
I can make sure that I don't get harmed in the wilderness, pretty much.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's not good to get harmed in the wilderness. And the sheriff again says, yeah, we wouldn't want any harm coming to any of you. I want you to stay nice and safe while you're under our care.
How long have you been here?
Oh, a little while now. But, yeah,
What
yeah.
preparations have you made for the swarm?
Well, you can see we've got our armored forces. We've got arms and armor spread out throughout town. We keep the wall intact, keep what we want out and what we want in. And we're going to try to keep it that way. Now, while you're here, you are a formidable force, the 4 of you. I'm sure you could lay waste to a town if you so wanted to.
We do not.
Well,
but that's not the point.
What you've been throwing around is that you've laid waste to some of the swarm already, and you've got some of their weapons. So,
I think you're right to be cautious.
Yeah.
And I can understand having a babysitter for our time here.
Oh, he's a smart one, this one. You hear that, Red? He understands. Says, oh yeah, he sure does.
But the reality is, keeping this place locked down tight is one thing. I can't tell you to head out and face the swarm. But I would, let's say, gesture at all the fine armaments you've amassed and suggest that it would have an impact were you to do that. But I'm not here to talk your business. I'm here to talk mine. Right now, we either need that robot up and running or a replacement which can do that.
Well, we are
Personally,
happy to repair.
Personally, I'm not much interested in ruffling feathers. You'll notice I've not gone digging through anybody's mind, and I'll take a look over at Sue. Because I'd rather be a polite guest. As far as repairs go, we're more in need of, let's say, the supplies to actually make the repairs. We'll conduct them ourselves. We don't want to tie up any more of your personnel.
That's good. That's good.
Formidable as we are, that's already a lot of babysitters to allocate.
Well, I'll tell you what. I won't mind your business if you don't mind mine. Our boys will take care of any domestic disputes. You just relax and enjoy your stay here in Liberty. Keep your noses clean, and we won't have to adjust them for you.
Sort of like a half smile.
But I suggest that you stay where we can see you. And once your robot's fixed, you move along.
That seems perfect.
Liberty, it's a fairly big place. What sort of amenities are kicking around?
You know, we tend to be the largest center here. We've got a lot of trappers, and the occasional adventurers come through, traveling merchants, and we had a show a little while back. There's communities in and around the ruins. They come here to trade, sell, and purchase all sorts of goods and services. We're even a known location for the Coalition. Their long-range patrols know that we're here, and they'll stop by once in a while, check in on us, make sure everything's doing okay. But we got a lot of modern amenities, right? Like I said, you'll find this place, which is where you'll be staying, has all the running water. You can have a nice hot shower, flush toilets, and we do enough trade to make sure that we keep ourselves well armed and armored. Now, costs quite a bit to repair a robot, so we should talk about payment.
Well, I was talking to your guy in the shop there, and he was seeing that there's maybe some other things that I can repair that you guys have hanging around there. It looks like there's a lot of stuff there that needs to be fixed, and you don't have skill in order to do it. That's why it's been sitting there, collecting spider webs and rusting.
Well, that would be quite kind of you. In-kind payment is appreciated, but we'll find out what the final bill is before we say that's going to be sufficient. So,
we can negotiate on that for sure.
Sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm kind of stuffed, and he's barely touched his food. And it's a big pile of food on the plate, too. And you look over, the crazy has already eaten his whole fair share. And says, Fast Hands he's had his fill already. So, the two of us were going to take our leave. Sue's coming with me. Red, why don't you make sure that these boys get nice and comfortable here? And let me know once they're all tucked in. And he says, yeah, Sure thing there, Sheriff. Not a problem. And the three of them get up and leave the table. And Red says, yeah, I'll be out.
Reminder?
Yeah. He smiles. I'll be outside. Check in on you in a little bit. And they exit.
I'll just nod. So they're all gone?
Yep.
So look at the others and go, well, this is going to be an interesting stay.
Hopefully not a protracted one.
Right.
There are quite a few of them.
Well, it's to be expected.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're going to try and get me to do more than my fair share when it comes to fixing some of this stuff that they have in here.
Oh, I'm expecting some sort of tax, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they really like those weapons from the swarm.
Good for them.
Suggesting that they might not want to give them back.
Oh, I understand. But they're going to have a hard time. Actually, I don't know that I said this out loud, so I probably shouldn't go that way. Never mind. No, I was going to say that when I unloaded my weapon, I didn't overtly say I was putting down the clip, but now it's probably fine.
Okay.
But well, it is what it is.
The fact is, we're here. We've got to get through.
Yeah, so. That robot needs to be fixed, so either way.
Right, it does.
No,
well,
right.
You and I can get to work on it. Though that shower does sound quite nice. So I might start there.
As you say that, the proprietor walks over to you and sets, kind of slides a piece of paper under one of the plates. It says, your receipt. And he kind of looks around at you rather awkwardly and then picks up the plates that are not finished or finished and kind of walks back to the kitchen.
I'll pick it up and read it.
And it says Sonny's Garage after sunset.
So I'll give it to Senate.
And I'll glance at it and look back and say, he's got to know that we have no idea where that is. And I'll hand it down to Godridge.
Would I know where this is? Is this the place where I parked my robot vehicle already?
No. But you were told that there was another mechanic place across town that dealt with farm equipment.
I'll just kind of nod my head and, fold it up and put it in my pocket.
All right. And with that, we will call it an end for this particular session. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for continuing to support our channel. If you like what you heard and haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be continuing more with this great Rifts adventure here. I'm Magnum Pi. I'm here with Teku Golgotha, Vahilo, and Dark Templar, and we are Initiative 0.